Hello and welcome to the FastReport Academy. In this video, I'll show you how to work with users and groups in our cloud reporting service, FastReport Cloud. The business edition of the service allows you to add users to the workspace within the same subscription. For example, several people can prepare reports from one big list of previously added templates, or you can have several people tasked with creating report templates who can quickly and conveniently add them to a workspace, where these templates can then be prepared by another group of users who aren't allowed to edit them. Let's walk through the steps of adding a new user to a workspace. When a new user opens FastReport Cloud for the first time, here's what they see. Every user should have an account at our authentication service, FastReport's ID. After successfully registering and logging in, the user will see this message. At this stage, we're going back to the account that has a FastReport Cloud license. In the Users tab, you will find a list of already added users and also a button we'll need in a moment, Make Invite Link. If you click this button, an invite link will be created, and you'll be able to copy it to your clipboard. By default, this link can be used multiple times, and it is set to expire after 1 day. At this moment, these parameters can only be changed through API. Send this link to the user you want to add. When they open it, they'll see the following dialog asking them to confirm the invitation to FastReport Cloud. And after the user accepts, two things will happen. Firstly, the new user will be able to do the action specified in the Others group permissions. For example, if you've disabled viewing document info by default, a new user won't see any documents. And secondly, you'll be able to see the new user in the same users menu where you copied the invite link. If you'd like to delete a user from the subscription, you can right-click them and choose the Remove option. By the way, if you open the Workspace Information menu, you'll see the maximum number of users that you can add. So, we have a few users. How can we manage their permissions? This is done in the Groups menu. By default, there are just 3 groups. First one is Owner. This group defines what the workspace's owner can do. The owner has all the permissions, and these permissions can only be disabled from the administrator panel and through API. Next one is Other. Any user that joins the workspace will be assigned to this group, and the permissions enabled in it extend to every user. It is very important to set the permissions of this group to the minimum, so new users don't get more permissions than you want them to have. And lastly, Anon. This group can technically contain any users, but instead it's a way to set anonymous access to certain aspects of the workspace. This means the permissions of this group are applied to users who don't have an account, and that have a link to a certain report or document within the workspace. Every group has a set of permissions that define what the user who's assigned to them can do. The permission names are mainly self-explanatory, but if you have any questions, you could consult the documentation to find out more. As you can see, the anonymous users don't have any permissions by default. So, let's create a new group and set it up from the beginning. There's a text input field used for creating a new group on the upper left, below the group's label. Enter name and press the Enter key. The context menu will allow you to delete or rename any group. The new group will be created without any permissions. In the Permissions tab, that opens by default, you can set up what users can do. The manual set of permissions is to enable Get Info for the workspace and the documents. If you only add these 2 permissions, the user will be able to see a list of documents and general information about them. And on the contrary, if the group All Users has these permissions and the users groups don't, the user will still be able to view the documents. Let's set the permissions exactly like that. After that, go to the Users tab, where you can set which users will belong to this group by clicking on them. Users that are in the group will be in the upper panel, and the rest of them on the lower one. So, here's what FastReport Cloud will look if a user has no permissions whatsoever, and if the user is added to a group for which it's allowed to view info and preview reports. Here's what they will see in the context menu of a template. Grayed out actions aren't available to a user, because there are no permissions allowing them in the Others group, nor in any of the custom groups the user is in. So, you've seen how to work with groups and users in FastReport Cloud. If you'd like to learn some more, you can find info about it on our website, or watch videos about it on this channel. Thank you for watching, and we wish you fast reports.